Chapter 2. Yosef died when Yahusha was a youth, at that time working as a craftsman among the Kenites. After Yahusha had been away a long time, he returned to the house of his brothers. One day, while he worked under the shade of a tree, they came to him and said, "Out in the wilderness by Yarden there is a man who cleanses people by immersion in water. He claims strange knowledge and calls himself the Forerunner. We are going to see what he teaches." Yahusha said, "I have heard of these things, and surely as the son of our forefather Ishai prayed to be cleansed of his secret faults and presumptions, the sons of our father should not stand aloof from cleansing. I will go with you." The brothers of Yahusha said, "This man is called Yochanan. He heralds the coming of an enlightener who will be an all-wise instructor in goodness. He himself does not bear this new light which will dispel the darkness in men's minds. He tells of one who will grant men the privilege of becoming children of Elohim, awakening to eternal life that part within them not born of earthly desires." So Yahusha and his brothers went out seeking Yochanan, finding him beside the Yarden, at the place of crossing where there was a pool. The hairs on the head of Yochanan were already white. Yochanan, seeing Yahusha among those gathered about him, said, "Look, all of you, here he is, a man in whom there is no guile, the true Lamb of Elohim, the one we await. For set hell, sending me forth to baptize, instructed me thus, when you discover a man worthy to be the receptacle of the Ruach HaKodesh in abundance, the same shall you acknowledge as the enlightener." Hearing these words, Yahusha joined with those to be cleansed. But when he stood before the Forerunner in the water, Yochanan said, "You have greater powers of cleansing than I, yet you come to me." Yahusha replied, "The power to cleanse and revitalize with the Ruach is not in men but in the Ruach which fills man. It is important each should be allowed to do whatever he is called upon to do." Yahusha asked of Yochanan, "What do you know about me?" Yochanan said, "Years gone by, I had a vision of 3 heavenly lights, and as the sun sank so they rose. A flame of fire went up over Yerushalayim, and smoke filled the temple, and a star fell down into Yehuda. The meaning I know, for it was this: the deliverer is born, and woe unto the house of Herod. Woe to you scribes and your interpretations of the Torah." The star that appeared and stood over Yerushalayim was a child planted into Bethlehem from out of the heavenly heights, as was foretold, and it was prophesied he would be the deliverer. The fire that burned was the fire of a strange altar. I prophesy great things for you. You are the true son of Elohim. Soon you will see the glory of heaven revealed. And the power of the Ruach HaKodesh will be poured out upon you as a stream of pure water. The time has come to proclaim yourself. Peace, peace on you whom our Elohim has chosen as his messenger, for you will proclaim the true gospel. Strengthen your heart, for the road ahead is steep and stony. No man is hated so much as one who tries to point out defects in character and attitudes and seeks to guide men along the path of right and beneficial living. Then Yochanan took Yahusha down to the river and baptized him, and he was overshadowed by the Ruach HaKodesh and became fully filled with its power. So his face glowed. And the people wondered and were bewildered, for they did not understand. Yet the face of their forefather Moshe had also glowed after he had been in the presence of the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahweh. Yochanan said, "Go and wait upon the mountainside nearby." Later, Yochanan went to join Yahusha and told him that he was the anointed one but should not yet make this known to the people. Then Yochanan prayed thus, "We give thanks, O Yahweh, with souls purified through realization of our misdeeds, and Ruachoth reaching upward to commune with you. It is by your power alone we have seen the light of truth manifested and come to know the secret of your hidden name. In humility we call you by the name of Father because you have shown us a father's compassion and kindness, and because we know you chastise and discipline us after the manner of a father. You have granted us freedom of activity, that we may enjoy the blessings of life. We have been saved by the waters of your affection. We approach you as the only good and great being, asking only that we be united with you in the waters of the Ruach and never become separated from the source of life." This is how Yochanan testified concerning these events. On that day, the Ruach outflowing from Elohim came with a great surge of power. I did not know this man from others, but seeing him I recalled what I had been told by those who gave me power to cleanse with water. They had said, "When you find someone so filled with the power of the Ruach HaKodesh he can hardly contain it, you will know him for one who will baptize with the cleansing power of the Ruach HaKodesh." I have experienced this power and testify that this man is the true son of Elohim, the enlightener and deliverer. Yochanan left Yehusha on the mountainside, where he stayed 3 days fasting and communicating with the powers above. Then he went back to the riverside. Yochanan was standing with 2 of his disciples, Yehusha sitting apart, and Yochanan said to those with him, "There is the one giving himself as an offering of Elohim, the enlightener of the world and the deliverer of our people." Then the 2 disciples went to Yehusha and said, "Tell us about your teachings. Shall we follow your way or that of Yochanan?" Yehusha said, "There is the way of the wilderness and there is my way, alike in teaching, but calling to different men. What Yochanan teaches accords with the Torah even as my teaching. Obey either or both, they are the Torah." From that day forth, Yehusha had power to heal the sick and to do many things, but he went out into the wilderness bordering Yarden, uncertain about his next move. While there, hungry and thirsty, he fought with the flesh, resisting the temptation to go down among the habitations of men and use his powers for selfish ends. The same Ruach of Yahweh which overshadowed Yehusha overshadowed the creation. It enlightens outer darkness and bestows life and is eternal. Yochanan was one of those who can see the Ruachoth of men, and so he knew the nature of Yehusha. These things took place at Beth Araba, which means the place of crossing.